Hey lovely sexy hobby people, welcome to today's video, which is going to be the flick through for Airfix Model World issue 170. We've got Airfix's Lysander in this, the new tooling. So come and join me on the desk and we'll have a look. Hey lovelies. Right, let's have a look at Airfix Model World January 2025 issue 170. We've got their new release Lysander on the front. Am I right in thinking that for many years the only sort of like large scale Lysander that if you could get hold of it was the Matchbox 132 scale one? Right, so here we go, contents. We have Mustang. So, advanced build, red-nosed Royals. We have 22, intermediate build, a bus at war. We have this Sea King, exclusive build going commando. So that's another 148 scale release from Airfix. We have 14, a 132 scale BF109G2 from Revel. I understand that this is a reasonably recent new tooling, and it's not the old Matchbox Messerschmitt that they used to produce after they bought Matchbox. And then we have 58, Molka Shaw. Anders Isaacson sets ICM's lovely 172 scale Molk Midget submarine in late war dockside diorama. And then 32 Farmer's Son Trumpeter 172 Nangchang Q5 Pakistani Air Force colour scheme. That is actually quite nice. I like that. Right, trade news from Scale Model World. Some nice stuff there. So, exciting releases from the trade. Always add a certain fashion to proceedings at Telford Scale Model World, and it seems we have some interesting kits on the way. Having announced its new tool 148 Westland Lysander, Mark 1-3, and same scale Sea King HC4, the day before Scale Model World, built examples of both on the company's display attracted much attention. Meanwhile, Revel exhibited visuals of its future 132 scale Hawker Hunter T7, which is based on its existing F6F FGA9 tooling. Also highlighted was the forthcoming 132 scale Meteor F8 FR9. While fans of Netflix Smash Stranger Things can expect kits of vehicles used in the show, a Chevrolet K5 Blazer, VW T3 bus and Chevrolet Camaro Z28. Bachmann surprised many visitors with the news that its brand Adventures in Plastic has branched out from solely offering Thunderbirds kits and is now providing reissues, reworkings and other models. Interestingly, Academy's 148 scale Hawker Hunter, F6 and FGA9 are returning under the AIP label with new cockpit parts, as those in the original boxes were underscaled. Also pending in Academy's 148 F4J Phantom 2 transformed into an RAF F4J, while Academy's 172 SR71 Blackbird and F35 Lightning will appear in AIP boxes with fresh markings. Trumpeter's 135 HMS Belfast is another forthcoming AIP. 135 scale HMS Belfast. I'm assuming they meant 1350. Yeah, I'm unless it's just a turret, because some of the manufacturers have done like released turrets in 172, and I think there was a 135 scale turret out there somewhere. Also coming from Trumpeter are two 135 scale kits replicating members of the Challenger 1 tank family. That'd be interesting. Is that going to be a Challenger armoured recovery vehicle? Maybe even I can't remember what other chassis they did with the Challenger 1. I can't remember if they did a bridge laying tank as well. Plus a 148 scale Fairy Barracuda. If you enjoy modelling cinematic subjects, you may welcome Trumpeter's licensed production of Hollywood's Transformers in scale kit form, with the Bumblebee and Optimus Prime among them. We then have a 148 scale Chickasaw, Sikorsky H-19A Chickasaw in 148 scale AMP. Top Notch's new Pro 2 airbrush. Okay. X Plus releases Blue and Beta from Jurassic World Dominion. Display case, military and aircraft subjects. So these are readers' models. We've got a 135 scale Achilles here. Built mostly out of the box by Stephen Booth. Extra storage came from Mini R accurate armour sets, plus some scratch building. We have this 135 scale Tamiya British Infantry Mark IV Churchill, excuse me. And then a doesn't say. Ted Turansky found that building this decades-old BF-109 was something of a learning experience. His inspiration was that he could then fly it using the IL-2 Sturmovik simulator on his computer to start it, taxi and take off from one airfield, then fly to another. He has access to historic World War II scenery with the mission editor used to set blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say what kit this is. Airfix starter set, Spitfire Mark 1A here. All nicely done. So, Galax Gustav. So this is Revell's 132 scale Messerschmitt BF-109G2. And it's £32.50 from Revell stockists. So I can remember buying as a kid the Matchbox 132 scale Messerschmitt, which I understand that Revell did release for a short spell after they acquired the kits from Matchbox. But this looks really nice. The cockpit detail here is superb. Even down to some of the cabling, etc. Looks to be nicely detailed. So yeah, that looks like it's going to be a nice build for those people that get it. It says here the final model took 46 hours to complete and was a mixture of good and bad. Quality detail was marred by excessive flash and large attachment gates, while the decent fit was complicated by strange engineering choices. A bus at war. Okay, so Gary Radford completes Das Werk's imposing 135, 8.8 centimetre flak and 9-ton Vomag truck combo. And this is £74.95 from albionhobbies.com. But it does look like a really nice kit build. Looks like there's plenty of detailing for the underside of the gun platform, as well as the cab, although it's a basic cab from a design point of view. The internal ammunition racks here, internal and external racks for ammunition. The Vomag could hold a total of 72 by 8.8 centimetre shells in its lockers. That's nice, actually. This whole set is nice. So it looks like the builder has added in some extra detail here on the engine block, and weathering here, mud on the mud guards. And then the diorama scene. Again, nicely done. Nice German Shepherd miniature there as well. Yeah, that's a nice little diorama. I like that. I miss Francois Verlinden and his dioramas that he used to make. And his products, to be quite honest. Farmer's Son. Right, Mike Grant enjoys the finest of China with Trumpeter's 172 scale Nanchang Q5. So this is an aircraft I don't actually know much about. Not really come across it. It's kind of giving me like a mid-60s kind of fighter vibe. But I do like this three-tone colour scheme. I'm assuming that's just a dark green, a tan and a sand colour. So it's from Trumpeter. It's £22.49 and you can get it from backman.co.uk. Spy in the Sky. Richard Spreckley creates a D-Day Spitfire Photo Reconnaissance 11 from Edward's superb Mark III kit and an Alley Cat resin conversion. So this is a nice conversion build. Looks like they're using vac formed styrene for the canopy glass. Yeah, Spitfire Mark Spitfire Mark 8, I should say. So Spitfire Mark 8, Edward, it's 148 scale and it's £12.55. That's a bargain. Not being funny, for the scale, which would obviously make it a reasonable size. £12.55 from edward.com. So, and I do like this kind of like low visibility grey colour scheme, but the builder has painted the stripes in a way which shows that they were hastily applied, and I like that because quite a lot of invasion stripes in the run up to D-Day were literally just painted on by brush. You know, apparently there were even stories of some people, like, they didn't have enough brushes and people were using mops and brooms to literally just dip into the paint and paint the stripes. Nicely detailed cockpit as well. Nice. And going commando. So the Sea King was one of the few helicopters I didn't actually get to ride in. Done Gazelle, done Lynx, did Puma, and Chinook. Loved the Chinook. Oh my god. I actually spent a whole day on exercise just being picked up and ferried around by Chinook. That was the best exercise ever. But yeah, this is a nice desert scheme. Three-piece inner shell clipped neatly into place. The upper center section, doing so with a satisfying click. It does look really nice, especially some of this interior detailing on the bulkheads here. And you can see the, like at the bottom of the Sea King here, that boat-shaped hull. So these look like, yeah, these are the seats. So plenty of seating to go in and go down. Masking off here, ready for painting the decking. So Airfix Westland Sea King HC4, it's 148 scale, it's £59.99 from airfix.com. Desert Pink was used on RAF and Royal Navy aviation assets, is a peculiar shade, but is based on the US FS 30279 Desert Sand Tone. After experimenting with various products, Vallejo's 71140 was deemed the closest match, also bearing near identical to Humbrow's now out of production 250 Desert Pink. So the mulch, is it a mulch or a mulch? Sure. So ICM, U-boat type mulch. So midget submarine, £17.80 from hanants.co.uk. It's in 172 scale, which is nice. I like this two-tone, kind of like a, I won't call it a dapple camouflage, but it's a blotchy camouflage. And it's nice, being in 172 scale as well. Quite often a lot of like Charioteer, like Human Torpedoes and other smaller midget submarine types, I've only ever seen in kind of like 135 scale. So seeing this in 172 is nice. Stop saying nice. Saying nice too much. Nice, nice, nice again. So great to see them explaining a bit on what they did for the causeway here, the dockside. And then just a little bit regarding how they they did the resin dinghy that's in the water. And here we go. So, exclusive build, Luscious Lizzie. Chris Clifford makes an exciting type debut with his test shot build of Airfix's pending new tool 148 scale Westland Lysander Mark 1 III. So this was a small utility aircraft in RAF use during World War II. It was often used to infill agents, British agents, into France during the occupation of World War II, and you'd often see it with a black painted underside to help it camouflage at night. But Westland Lysander Mark 1 III Airfix, it's 148 scale, it's £39.99 from airfix.com. Yeah, look, I mean, the detail on the cockpit is really good. And then the radial engine here. A separate valve push rod array fits over the front cylinder casing part, but the engine rear piece is also shown here. Spraying 12 practice bombs white, then yellow, and hand painting the launchers was laborious, but worth the effect. Then we had Red Nose Royals, the release of a new Royal class limited edition from Edward is always excited, and not even wild horses are going to prevent Jay Blakemore from getting his hands on the P51B Mustang. So Royal Class P51B Mustang Dual Combo from Edward. It's £64.95 from Edward Stockits, and it's 148 scale. Again, I have a thing about a lot of World War II aircraft that were just excuse me, were just like the brushed aluminium on the airframe, the bare metal with unit markings. There's just something about it. I don't know what it is. I just like that particular type of colour scheme. So it's two kits with one. Where's the... So yeah, dual combo. Edward's introduction of new tool early Mustang resulted in the simultaneous release of two exciting debut P51B Mustang dual combo sets. The first set was a D-Day special featuring schemes for 10 aircraft, all resplendent in black and white striped livery, while the second, and subject of this article, was a limited edition Royal Class release. Included within the impressively proportioned dark blue and gold box were all the Overlord decal options plus 4 others, 2 of which are devoid of D-Day markings. Also included were pre-coloured photo-etched PE, metal frets, self-adhesive canopy and wheel masks, a pair of bright orange foam wheel bay masking inserts, plus a single example of Edward's 3D printed instrument panel set. That's a lot in that kit. So we've got the 2 cockpits, obviously the 2 planes there being masked up, etc. And a nice, sort of olive drab colour scheme. Not my favourite. There you go. Flash in the pan, getting more from Italeri's 124 scale Lancia LC2 adds extra detail to this Mirabella motor racing endurance car. So this looks like a Le Mans entry. Lancia's LC2 was a sports racing coupe built to the FIA Group C regulations introduced in 1982 and was the ruling formula for a number of endurance events around the world, typically of a 1,000 kilometre duration, plus the famous Le Mans 24-hour event. It was raced from 1983 to 1986 with sporadic success, hampered by frequent engine and chassis failures, and while blindingly quick and regular pole sitter, out-qualifying the contemporary Porsche 956 and the Lancia's fragility meant it never capitalised on its potential. So, Lancia LC2 by Italeri. 124 scale is £36.99 from thehobbycompany.co.net. So, advanced build. Edwards PE seat belts are comprehensive, but are tricky to shape convincingly with adaptation needed to suit particular installations. So, looks like that's photo etched seat belts look like the first kind of conversion here. The rear of the instrument panel is visible through the windscreen, so cables and connectors were added via lead wire, so another part of the conversion there. Wow, the detail on these brake discs, it's phenomenal. Although they weren't in the correct size for the front brakes, highlights disc faces added finesse to the kit's plain styrene. Yeah, I can see why. Groovy. Rarity, yellow-winged Rarity. Peter Fearon tackles Plus Model's first styrene kit, a 172 scale Martin TM4, negotiating some choppy waters in the process. So, a float plane. These look like trainer markings. Cockpit detail is very, very good here. Components for the fuselage interior, the floor sections were fine, but the framework parts suffered from poor moulding and thick attachment points. Note the lower wing has been attached, which also served as the handle during this stage. Yeah, I mean there's an awful lot of fretwork and strut work here to sort of like support seats, etc. 1, 2, 3 seats, is that? Torpedo underneath. So, Martin TM4 float version, Plus Model, 172 scale, it's €32.34 from plusmodel.cz. So they replaced the Kit's Lewis guns with items from Scale Fiend. And then we're into the books. Right, what have we got? So, Nets 2, 1994 to 2015, ex-United States Air Force, F-16AB in Israeli Air Force service. German heavy armoured cars. British aircraft carriers, 1945 to 2010. Pulp Fiction fighters. Aircraft exported to Latin America for military purposes, 1930 to 39. And Reggiani RE 2005 Sagittario. And then aircraft kits. We have a F-14 EJ Kai Phantom II, 306 Squadron number 379, Hasegawa 172 scale, £44.99. BAC Rombach 111-500 Super 111, that's in 1144 scale, £34.99 from Hanantz. Tornado Twin Pack from Revell 172 scale, Tornado Twin Pack 50th anniversary of Panivia Tornado, £41.99. P51B Mustang Birdcage Canopy 148 scale from Edward 1790. Air Defender set Airbus A400M and Tornado 1144 scale, it's £49.99. And a CH-37A Mojave US Army Special Hobby 172 scale, €42.60. We then have Sepcat Jaguar T Mark II DERA. Is that Defence Establishment Research Agency? Defence Evaluation and Research Agency. There you go. So yeah, 172 scale from Hasegawa, $36.99. Supermarine Spitfire Mark IIA Aces. This is from Kovozavody. 172 scale, €16.95. And a B-12A Bomber Yellow Wings over America. Special Hobby, 172 scale, £34.61. Then we're into our armour. So Panzerwaffe, Steel Cats, right, ICM 135 scale, £59.80. Here's another great value pack from ICM, offering essentially 2 German tanks for slightly more than the price of a single kit. It contains one example of each of the Panzerkampfwagen 5 Panzer Aus D and Panzerkampfwagen that doesn't make sense because that says that's 4. Surely that doesn't make sense. Anyway, Panzerkampfwagen 4, King Tiger Alf B. So yeah, that's a nice set if you want your couple of big cats for your armour collection. So US soldiers with WLA motorcycles. Mini Art 135 scale, that's £37.99. A Chevrolet 15 kilowatt D-Day Italeri 135 scale, £29.99. CWT, I mean, I've always turned around and said kilowatt. I'm probably wrong. Somebody correct me, because I am probably wrong. Somebody correct me. CWT. Then we have an FV4101 Charioteer Mark 7B in finished service. IBG models 172 scale. Nice that it's in 172 scale. €18. And then Panzer Befehlswagen 35-ton command tank. Special armour 135 scale, €20.19. And then the Humvee M109782 cargo carrier, ICM 135 scale, £37.80. Civilian vehicles, we have a 3-ton cargo truck, 3.6-36S Pritz normal type, mini art, 135 scale, €52 sorry, £52.99. A Honda 125 DAX Tamiya 112 scale, £29.99. And then a Honda Civic in rally colours by the look of it. Honda Civic EF3 GRA 89 Macao Gia race, and it's B Max 124 scale, £54.99. Figures. So German Tank Riders Set 2 135 scale mini art. We got Dogs of the Apocalypse. This is Master Box 124 scale. This is their standalone figure series that they've been doing. So there are some other figures in this range in that scale. Then you have Street Musicians and Omnibus Crew and Passengers. So the Street Musicians 1930s to 40s, 135 scale mini art, and then mini art 135 scale. Now these look kind of World War One-ish. Do you know, it says typical 1930s to 40s attire, but some of this is very some of this does very much still remind me of the way people would dress in sort of like 1914 to 1918 sort of thing. Was it Edward? No, Georgian? Edwardian? Georgian? Tank Crew of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, another ICM kit, 135 scale, and then we have US officers from mini art in 135 scale. Right, Early War RAF Part 1, Blackbird models, 172 scale, so roundels and lettering. So, Messerschmitt BF 110DE, 148 scale. We got Supermarine Spitfires over Malta, so roundels and numbers, and that's Euro decals, 132 scale. The Raphael Solo Display 2023. So Sci-Heart decals, never heard of those before. 148 scale. So lots of different flashes here to depict that aircraft in 148 scale. BAC 111-500 in British skies, Mark 1 manufacturers, is 144 scale. And then Hurricane Mark 2B collection, Euro decals, 148 scale. Some aftermarket parts. Pierced steel plating, PSP Airfield. This is 172 scale from Armour Hobbies. Now that's handy. Lancaster Mark III exhausts. We have Euro pallets for diorama people. This is from Hauler, 135 scale. We have a Vortex Stirrer Turbo. This useful gadget is a mains powered and comes with standard UK 3-pin plug. Paint shaker. That should have your chosen colour ready for you to use in no time. It looks like you've got obviously the shaking platform there, but this looks like a bulldog clip, so you can open the drawers up and place your pot inside and then switch it on and just leave it to do its thing. We've got some wooden barrels in 148 scale. Sustainable Nipper Advance by Playmo, £34.99. These cutters are a step change from other versions in that the blade is replaceable. There you go. AH-64 Apache early pylons, Resi kit, 135 scale. And then we have a Japanese airfield fire extinguisher, 148 scale, from Brengan. We have Royal Navy and USA Navy Escort Carrier Deck in 1/72 scale. And then we have a Medieval Warriors ICM scale. This is, if the artwork is anything to go by, ICM acrylic paint set is intended to complement the firm's 9th century Viking figure, although it's equally useful on most medieval period subjects. Of the 6 12ml screw top bottles, 4 are metallic tones being used on the weapons and shield, with just 2 providing the arguably expected mix of earth brown hues for the clothing. So there you go. And then we have the last few pages before 2025 events. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that flick through, and I hope you will join me in the next video. Alright, take care. Bye bye.